Hello?
Miss Lestico, guess what time it is?
What time?
It's time for math!
Yay!
Welcome back to another day of math. Miss Len, what are we going to be learning about today?
Well, we are still practicing representing numbers in all of the different forms, just like our target says. I can represent a number in various forms.
That is our goal all week, is using our standard picture, how many tens, how many ones, and expanded form to represent our different numbers.
That's right. And today, before we get started on practicing all of those forms, we have a really cool video, okay?
Hi, Eastparkers. Today at school during math class, my teacher asked us all to tell her the age of someone in our family. Athena said that my older brother is 16. Her friend Xavier said, my mom is 37. Michelle said that her grandpa is 72. And I told everyone my uncle's 50. My teacher wrote all of the ages that we said on the blackboard, and then she told us that we were going to have to figure out how many tens and ones were in each person's age. She asked Athena to come up to the board first. We watched as Athena wrote her brother's age, 16, on the board. And then she drew a chart to separate the tens and the ones. The first number always goes in the tens column, and the second number always goes in the ones column. So using the T-chart, Athena could see that there is 1 10 and 6 ones in the number 16. Next, it was my buddy Xavier's turn. He wrote the number 37 on the board, because remember, his mom is 37. Then, just like Athena, he drew a T-chart to separate the tens and ones. By looking at the chart, he could easily tell that 37 has a 3 in the tens place and a 7 in the ones place, which means that there are 3 tens and 7 ones in 37. Michelle came up to the board next, and she wrote the number 72 on the board. That's a pretty big number. Michelle was worried that her number was harder than everyone else's. Our teacher reminded her to start by drawing a T-chart. Michelle separated the numbers into a tens column and a ones column. Once she did that, she realized her number wasn't so hard after all. By making a T-chart, Michelle could tell right away that there are 7 tens and 2 ones in the number 72. Finally, it was my turn. I wrote the number 50 on the board. Do you think you can try to figure out how many tens and ones are in the number 50? Did you create a T-chart like this to separate the tens and ones? If you did, you're right on track. So when using the T-chart, did you say that there are 5 tens and 0 ones in the number 50? Well done! So even though there is a 0 ones place, there is still a 5 in the tens place. Thanks for helping me and my friends out with that problem. When you go home tonight, you should impress your family by separating their ages into tens and ones.
Wow, that video was really helpful and helped us recognize how we can use numbers, like how old people are, and break them down into various parts.
That's true. You can look at any number in your life, such as the age of your family members or how many people you know, and use it to represent your numbers in various forms.
Well, we drew a gigantic ice cream cone on the board because at the end of this lesson, you're going to do an activity and it's going to involve ice cream cones. So we wanted to go ahead and practice this way. Miss Lestico, we have all the different forms written on the side. Standard form, then tens and ones, picture form, and expanded form.
Well, I loved in the video how the students got to pick different ages of their family members and represent them in all these forms. So I'm going to pick some ages of people in my family, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on our ice cream. So I'm going to start with my nephew. He is 5 years old. So I'm going to write 5 at the base or in the cone of my ice cream for my standard form. And well, looking at the number 5, I know that there's 5 ones because that's the only number I have there, which would mean that there's an invisible 0 right here. So there are 0 tens in the number 5. And if I'm putting this in picture form, I'm going to have to draw my base 10 blocks. So I'm not going to have any tens to draw. I just won't draw any. And I'll have to draw 5 ones. So I'm going to draw 5 little 1 cubes. I have 1, I have 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for
there's one more scoop.
expanded form, so I know this is how much my tens are worth plus how much my ones are worth. But I don't have any tens. And so 0 tens are worth 0. Remember, you still have to write it, even if it's just a 0. And I have 5 ones. I count my ones by 1. So I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 ones are worth 5.
Okay, I want to practice modeling somebody's age in all of the different forms. And, oh, I think I'm going to do my sister. My sister is 37 years old. So I'm going to put 37 on my cone because that is how old she is. And that's how I would write that number in standard form. Let me look at this number, 37. Oh, I have a 3 in the tens place. So I have 3 tens and 7 ones. 3 tens, 7 ones. So that's my tens and ones. Now, if I was going to build this in base 10 blocks or draw it in picture form, I need 3 tens. So I'm going to draw 3 tens and 7 ones. And I'm going to make sure that they are close to the same size, all of my ones and then all of my tens. And I put little gaps in between so you can really see what I drew. Ooh, the last one is my expanded form. That's when I take the value of my tens plus the value of my ones. Now, I have 3 tens, but I'm not going to put 3 because if I had 3 tens, that's worth more than just 3. It's worth 30. So I'm going to say 30 plus the value of my ones. And I have 7 ones, and they have a value of 7.
All right, well, I'm going to pick somebody else. I'm going to pick my mom, and she is 58 years old. So I'm going to write 58 in standard form, so how I would normally see the number. And looking at the number 58, I can see that there's 5 tens, so I'm going to put 5 tens and 8 ones. And then if I were to draw this in picture form, I would have to draw 5 10 blocks. And so I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would have to draw 8 ones. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1 blocks. And then if I were to put it in expanded form, remember that's how much my tens are worth plus how much my ones are worth. And so if I were counting how much my tens were worth, I could count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 5 tens is worth 50. And then 8 ones would just be worth 8. And 50 plus 8 would equal 58.
Oh, you know what, Miss Lustico? You just did the age of your mom. I want to do the age of my mom. My mom is 60 years old. So I'm going to write 60 on the ice cream cone. Right here, 60. Let's see. That's my standard form. That's how the number normally looks. Let's do my tens and ones. Let's see. Oh, I have 6 tens and 0 ones. So I'm just going to put a 0. 6 tens, 0 ones. Now, I need to put that in picture form. So I'm going to draw 6 tens. Remember, these are the long, skinny guys. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that they are all about the same size. I have 0 ones, so I don't need to draw any ones. And my last ice cream scoop is expanded form. The value of my tens plus the value of my ones. I have 6 tens. Well, that has a value of 60. If I was holding 6 tens, I would have 60. I have 60 plus, oh, I have 0 ones. You know what? If I have 0 ones, that's worth 0. So 60 plus 0.
It's your turn. On Seesaw,
we have some ice cream cones and ice cream scoops just for you. This time, we already have the number forms written down there. It's your job to decide which ice cream scoop goes to the right ice cream cone. You need to pay attention to what number is standard form written on that ice cream cone so you can find the right scoop.
when you're done, don't forget to hit the green check mark in the corner.